free queens, free swarms, free colonies. You can spend your time putting out swarm traps. Don't spend a lot of money doing it, because if you put a swarm trap somewhere and you spend money on it, there's a good chance somebody's going to steal it. This is basically cheap material from a lumber store. This is waterproof. This is the top. And I drilled a hole for the bees, and then I put a hole in there for air ventilation so they won't get too hot. And this is the bottom. I put a screen in here for access. And I took one of my foundationless frames that I had from the colonies a few years ago. It's got a little bit of honey on it. Something that I'm not worried about getting stolen. Or I had 4 of these a couple of summers ago, and one of them was stolen or confiscated. I don't spend time asking for people's permission. I just set them along the road in the trees where I know there's commercial bees. And here is lemongrass oil. And here's all the queens that I've ever loved before. And you take toilet paper or paper towel, and you fold it up, puncture it with after you've, I do both sides. When I fold it over, one side gets lemongrass oil and the other side gets queens with rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. And the other half, see, there's what's left over. And do that, you pour that on there, and then you take a fork and you puncture holes in it, and you put it on there and staple it. And I screw this down, this got broke. And then you flip it over and the water can't get in there. There's many different ways to make a swarm trap, but what I'm getting at is I've got basically no money into this. This is just scrap lumber from the hive deeps that I built. And the thing was, the same summer I was doing that, I was also making mating nukes at home. And you only have so much time. Your time is limited, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you want to spend your time doing this and going back through, checking once a week, and every other week you got to add more of this oil and more because it dries up? Or do you want to spend time making mating nukes? I have several, if you look at my videos from last year, hey, and I want to make another point. I never ever asked anybody to subscribe to my channel because I really don't give a crap. My wife is pushing me. Why not try to have 1,000 subscribers and make money? I have no desire to have money. I'm not a money lover, okay? Don't subscribe. I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to help out bees, and I'm trying to help people from getting ripped off. Now, I've got several colonies here. I haven't bought any bees or queens since 2017. Now it's 2020, and they're all the way around my house. I did 60 new colonies in 2019, and I expect to do 75 or more this year. And right now it's very cold out. You don't see any bees flying around. And if you want to see what I do with the smaller colonies, are in the window. Everybody wants to see bees. Okay, you want to see some bees? Here are some bees. There. See how happy they are with my insulated fillers here? I just love them. Whoops. When they raise their stingers and act like they're so tough, oh, they're so cute. I just love them to death. Hey, and when I make a video, some of my videos, I'm trying to offend as many Americans as I possibly can. Americans are the dumbest people on this planet. You think you're going to vote Democrat and you think it's going to make a difference. There's no difference between Democrat and Republican. This is how it works in this country. You have the owners, the managers, and the livestock. And majority of people, 99%, fit into this category here, livestock. Well, maybe not 99%. You got some people here that work for the government, and they're part of the government. So the livestock are the people, owners are the rich, and the managers are the government. So this includes Republicans and Democrats. If you think you're going to vote Trump this November and you think it's going to make any difference over Biden, That doesn't make any difference. They're all puppets. They're puppets of the rich. And it's all an illusion. You need to check out Noam Chomsky on YouTube. He wishes we had two political parties because of what he's trying to make a point of. Both Democrats and Republicans are the same party, the party of corporate America, party of the rich. Now look, if you're going to enjoy your $1,200 check, once a week I go to the National Debt Clock. Google U.S. National Debt Clock. Last week it was 23.6. Look at that. Debt per citizen, 73,545. Debt per taxpayer, 195,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not paying any of that money back. This is going to reach a certain point where they won't be able to pay the interest on it. This is why I've said before in my videos, this country's doomed. And if you go here to the time machine here, you can go to 2024. Look what they expect the national debt to be, 36,000. This will never go down. It will never get paid. This country is doomed. What happens is Bush and Cheney, you may not like this, but 9/11 was an inside job. Bush and Cheney did an Iraq invasion, and the industrial military complex made a lot of money off that. President Eisenhower warned us in his farewell address that the military and industrial complex was going to take over the United States, and they have. So Bush and Cheney did 9/11. That was all thought out. It's all to make money. They don't care about U.S. soldiers dying. It's all about making money. Obama bailed out the banks and did the stimulus package. A lot of people got rich off that. A lot of the millionaires got rich. What I'm getting to is every time we get a president, they add to our national debt, and the rich people make out like bandits. And now Trump, because they're blaming the coronavirus, and if you do research on YouTube, the economy was sinking before the coronavirus got here, or COVID-19. So the reason why this just went up nearly $1 trillion or $500 billion in 1 week is because of the stimulus package. Most of that money is going to the rich. For this century, we've had three, well, if you want to count the dot-com bubble, the 2008 mortgage crisis and the coronavirus, that's three economic crises, and the rich people have made out like bandits. And all this, the debt that we've accumulated, gone to the national debt. Now, do you think our kids are going to be able to pay that? My kids, for instance, they have a student loan debt, and they're not making any money at all. Future generations are getting poorer, not richer. The only people that are getting richer in this country is the 1%. No, I try to offend people to wake you up. You guys are just effing stupid. If you're going to go vote this November between Biden and Trump, it doesn't make any frickin' difference who you vote for. It's the same puppet. The puppet of the establishment. My God, you guys got to wake up. It's the same thing with beekeeping. Beekeeping is a racket too. You going to buy packages every year? Those bees that came from California? Or are you going to breed your own bees? It doesn't cost anything. I bought packages that were a ripoff. I bought Russian bees that were a ripoff. I tried formic pro, formic acid. It didn't work. It was a ripoff. I switched to acetic acid. Everything's a ripoff. You got to be careful where you spend your money. I know several people that can't keep bees through the winter. And eventually their wives tell them, oh, I don't want you doing that anymore. So they gave up beekeeping. I'm the only person I know in my area here in Michigan that's been able to expand every year. Keep bees in the north. I don't take my bees down south. I keep them up here. Last year at this time I had 19 colonies. Now I have 51. And I expect next year at this time, now that I'm using acetic acid, I'll probably have over 100. In a couple years, I'm going to have a couple hundred. If you want to make money beekeeping, you got to have at least a couple hundred colonies in order to make any money. You can make an average $200 to $300 per colony with the honey every year. So again, look at that national debt. Now, how can anybody in their right mind look at that and think this country's okay? And again, I really don't care if you subscribe. I do not want subscribers. My goal is to wake up people. You're all a bunch of stupid fat asses. How do you like that?